Hi everybody and welcome to another episode of How to Use the 3D Experience platform. Today I would like to show you something about abstraction shapes. What is this? What is it needed for and why is it a really good concept for simulation engineers? Yes, let's have a look at it. Okay, so let's have a look directly into the 3D Experience platform. Yeah, here is a, a quadrocopter model that we have. It consists of several parts. It's a complete assembly. We have some camera here, and we have some PCB inside and everything. And the simulation engineer has now the task to simulate the frame of this copter, just to make sure that the stiffness and the strength is sufficient. So what we can see at one glance is we have a lot of holes in there, a lot of features that we might not want to simulate, but we have other features that we would like to simulate. So changing now directly in the model is not a good idea because we will change the CAD model for the designer. And that is the reason why we are inserting a so-called abstraction shape. The abstraction shape is also part of this assembly now, but what we can do now, we can directly copy all the parts we would like to simulate into this abstraction shape. What are we doing there? We are copying the parts that we would like to have in the simulation. And then we are going to insert a link. So we are going to insert the result with a link. That means we are not losing the information where this part is coming from. So we still have the link to the original geometry, but we are able to make changes without changing the original geometry. But the other way around is working. When the designer is changing this geometry later on, we will get an information and we will get this change back to our abstraction shape. But this we will show you in part 2 of this episode. In part 1 now we are just showing how to work with this abstraction shape. So we are copying part per part into this abstraction shape, only what we would like to simulate. And you see that we have almost the complete frame now in. This is the last part we're going to copy now. And again, a result with a link. So now the abstraction shape is finished. I can hide all other parts and we will only see the abstraction shape. And you see, it's only what we want to simulate. Now we can start with the defeaturing here. So we are selecting maybe this arm, and now we would like to remove those holes. But these holes, they should stay because they will be used for bolts later on. And so we are activating this arm by making it define in work object. And then we are using the automatic defeaturing tool. We are selecting hole filter and we are searching for all holes between 0 and 10 millimeter diameter. Now, when we say OK, you see that the holes are removed. But not only those holes, but also the holes we did not want to remove. No problem. We are going back to this defeaturing item. And then we add some more information, what we're searching for. We're not looking only for holes between 0 and 10 millimeter diameter, but also with a maximum depth of 10 millimeter. When we say, okay, still the holes are away and the other holes are back. So that seems to be a good filter. And we are applying this filter now for all the other arms in order to defeature all the control arms. Again, with the hole filter, 10 millimeter depth, and the holes are removed. Now let's go to the simulation app. We are switching to the structural model creation app. So in the structural model creation app, first we have to tell which parts should be simulated. And that we are going to do in the setup of this app. We are selecting the contributing shapes. And here, of course, we are only selecting the shape of the abstraction shape. So only the abstraction shape will be checked and all other parts will not be part of the simulation now. Yes, we are updating it. We're showing again the parts. And now we can, for instance, put a mesh inside one part and only the abstraction shape will be selected. As you can see, we can select something like 3 millimeters for the mesh. And you will see we have a mesh without the holes. So the defeatured geometry is meshed. So that's part one of the abstraction shape lesson. And I hope you understood the advantage of an abstraction shape. It is we can use the original geometry with the one single source of truth concept without changing this geometry for the designer. So that's a really good concept. And in part two, I'm going to show you what is happening when the designer is changing something. Goodbye.